Supplies for drawing. Art supplies.
How to art.
Hey Doodlebugs, it's Mary. Let's talk about drawing supplies. Now, having the best art supplies in the world isn't gonna instantly make you a better artist. Sorry. That's gonna all be up to you. You're gonna have to practice, you're gonna have to work on it. You're gonna have to believe in yourself, buddy. But having some really sweet pencils is kind of nice. Everything I mentioned in this video, I'm putting links to in the description below in case you want to research it a little more with your dinosaur hands. Pencils! If this was a magical hero's journey, they'd be the wooden sword a wizard gives you before you go off on your quest. You could use them as swords. Any old pencil works, but if you want to explore the nuances of shading and drawing, I recommend picking up some artist pencils. Here's what makes them awesome. On the sides of artist pencils, you can find markings that indicate the grade of the pencil. Now, what we usually call lead is actually graphite. A B grade indicates soft graphite. It leaves darker marks on the page. It smudges a little more easily, but it has a nice smooth feel when you're shading, and it's great for leaving really, really dark marks. H pencils are on the harder end of the spectrum, which means they leave lighter lines, which are great for preliminary sketches or outlines that need to be erased. They don't smudge, and they have a more textured, rough feel when you try to shade with them. Your day-to-day number 2 pencil that you keep on you at all times in the event of a test is somewhere in the middle. That's an HB pencil. There's also an F that you may encounter. That's the middlest of middles. I don't know why they chose F. Fin the middle, fin side, everything. It fits in the middle, fits in the middle. I've been told, and maybe you've been told, that mechanical pencils aren't real pencils, which is freaking me out because I'm pretty sure I was drawing with one the other day.
Oh, real artists don't use mechanical pencils.
As far as I'm concerned, mechanical pencils work just fine. They may not be the best for shading, but they're fantastic for doing outlines and really fine work. It all boils down to what you're most comfortable with, what you like to use. The best way to find what you like to use and what you're comfortable with is to try out new things. So if you can get some of these pencils, I highly recommend it. If you can't, it's not the end of the world. Keep doodling, keep going. Let's talk about paper. In my previous tutorial, I talked about sketchbooks, journals of blank paper where you can keep all your drawings together. For preliminary sketches, when I'm planning out a drawing or painting, I like to get paper in a pad because it's really easy to tear out. And these also come in many, many different shapes and sizes, and they're pretty affordable considering how much paper you get. This is sketch paper. This is drawing paper. Listen. Sketch paper is designed for preliminary sketching and for working out ideas and sketching on it. It's gonna be lighter, it's gonna be cheaper, because you're meant to burn through these pages. Drawing paper is designed for final drawings or heavier mediums. It's more durable, so it can handle more use. Art paper will have its thickness or its weight clearly labeled on the cover. This is measured in grams per square meter or in pounds in America, because freedom. You may also notice a paper pad saying acid-free. What? Paper is made from wood pulp, and wood, like many other hefty, stocky plants, contain lignin, a chemical compound. This is biological matter that decomposes, especially when exposed to sunlight. If you think of an old newspaper, it's yellow and brittle, and it breaks down. Acid-free paper has the lignin and other compounds removed to prevent it from breaking down as quickly. Most companies that produce art paper default to acid-free, so it's not hard to find. It is worth noting that the materials you put on the paper may aid in its decomposition, as well as the oils on your human oily hands. But nothing's gonna last forever. When the great comet passes by, the chickadee of shadow will descend upon a withered planet and once more rule supreme. So you don't really have to stress about it right now. Where would we be without accessories? Erasers are key because you're gonna make mistakes. Kid, you're only human. Except for that one robot boy who has yet to discover he's a robot boy. A good large soft eraser is great for erasing large areas. Also, tragically, this year I am just discovering kneaded erasers. They're like putty. Kneaded erasers can be molded and shaped, so if you need to erase fine, small areas, you can whittle it down to a tiny little nub. They also tend to lift the graphite as opposed to smearing it about. So if you're doing really fine, delicate work, this is a must. Of course, you're gonna want a pencil sharpener as well to keep your pencils nice and sharp. Oh yeah. I prefer a handheld over an electric just because you have a little more control. Smudging is a great way to art, and you can use your finger, but you can also pick up a smudge stick at any art store. You can also make one out of old paper towels or newspapers twisted into a fine point. Whatever works! And those are some basic drawing supplies. I hope that was helpful to you. If I've missed anything, if there's a special tool in your life that you want to talk about, you can leave a comment below. Also, if there's anything that you want to learn to draw or paint, or an area where you feel you struggle, you can ask a question in the comments and I will do my best to make a video to help you out. And maybe some other artists out there will jump in and lend in their suggestions and support and tips. Sharing is caring. Coming up next, I got a video on pencil shading techniques as well as lighting. And if you missed the first video in this series, it's all about doodling and sketching and just getting started. You can go check that out and be sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a single tutorial, as well as the weekly art videos. And you can follow me on all of the social medias at Mary Doodles. Thank you, dear Doodlebugs, for watching Art Fearlessly.
Chick-a-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.